In the dashboard, we have our new template library, and we'll go over all this. We have over 820 templates, and this includes photo templates, GIF overlays, 360 overlays, video overlays. We have a huge selection now available as part of your subscription. Along with these templates, we always have talk about fonts and things like that. We now have a large selection of Google fonts that are built into the library. This means when you use the dashboard and create your event and use a Google font from the dashboard on your template, it will be available on all of your devices when you're using our current software. And of course, as everyone has been looking forward to, the AI portraits are now available in the Windows and iOS and Mac devices. So, with that said, let's jump into the dashboard. So when we go into the dashboard, we have a fairly familiar look. This is actually my account. We can see our past events. We have the option to create a new event. So we'll go ahead and jump right in and create a new event. So when I click on Create New, it starts our session with what kind of session we want to do, whether we want to do a photo booth session, a glam booth session, background removal, mirror booth, and then it goes down 360, video booth, and or if you want to duplicate a previous event. What this basically does for you is it guides you in a path to have some settings that are already set for the experience that you want to offer. So with the photo booth, we typically will have just the picture taking. We'll turn the video off for you. So we'll go ahead and click right into that and start our photo experience. And here we'll just give it our event name. So we're just going to call this one Facebook Live, and we'll leave it at today's event, and we pick what kind of event this is, and we're just going to say other, and we create our event. And this brings us right into the event creating process. You can see here we start our photo booth experience, and we can start selecting a photo layout. This is where the fun begins, because from here you can choose a template or upload your overlay. So if you have been using Canva and you have your own templates, you can still continue to do that. You can simply just upload your own overlay, and you can continue that as you have. But if you want to create using our new templates, you just choose a template, and here you start to see the selection of templates. They are categorized at the top if you want to go just for weddings or Christmas or birthday or any other holidays, or if you want to search, you can search at the top. And as you can see, there's a pretty big selection here. And I'm just going to pick one randomly here. Once you pick a template, you have a variety of different layouts that you can offer. So if you want to do the photo strip, or if you're doing a full 4x6 in portrait mode, or if you're doing landscape, you can select the style that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick this layout, and we're going to select that layout. And when I select that, now it asks me if I want to apply this theme to the whole event. So that will apply a welcome screen, a GIF overlay, and a video overlay in case we're adding that. So I'm going to say let's go ahead and apply that theme. When I do that, it asks me what device I plan to use. So in this case, I'm going to say that I'm using my iPad Pro. I've got a variety of machines, but this one we're going to say this is an iPad event. So we're selecting that, and it asks us, is this device can be set up in portrait or landscape mode? For this demo, I'm going to be in landscape mode. So we're going to select that, and there we have our template. We have the layers are editable. We can change the text. You can see that we have a variety of layers. If you want to change things or move things around, you can. If you want to change the fonts, these are the fonts that I mentioned. We have the large selection of Google fonts. And you can change color, size, all that information easily right here from the dashboard. And of course, you can still add images, add your own text. If you want to have add the signature from the app, you can do that as well. You have your survey answers. And so that is our basic template layout using a custom new layout. If you wanted to add an additional layout, you can choose another layout and add another layout. That would allow your guests to choose which layout they want to select. And as you go through here, you have your basic settings, your countdown. This would be what's in your basic capture settings. You have your basic virtual attendant settings if you're using that. When we go to the welcome screen, we see that our theme was applied, so this was part of our theme. And we can go back and continue on. We have our filters, effects, background removal. Our AI portraits are here, and we can continue editing the events, including the sharing settings. This is our messages that the sharing settings will use. If you're using email, SMS, WhatsApp, and your general sharing screen and rules. And you can also, from the dashboard, configure your gallery settings. So this is what was in Lumashare. So if you want link sharing turned on, if you want guest access turned on, if you want download all turned on, all that can happen right here from the dashboard. So now that I have this event created, I can quickly go to my iPad, and I'm going to flip to that right now. And here we are looking at my iPad, and we can now see that I have my Facebook Live event. And when I click that, I'm now downloading the assets for that event, and I can launch that event. And there it is. These are our same settings. If we decide that we want to edit the layout or anything like that from the app, we can still do that. We're not locked to the dashboard. We can edit the layout, the photo layout here, just as you always have in the past. These settings will still sync back to the dashboard and still be available. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard now. And from the dashboard, we talked about our AI portrait. So I'm going to go back into this Facebook Live event and say I want this to be our AI portrait. So I'm going to edit now this event. And this is our new AI portraits feature. You'll turn this feature on. And with your subscription to Lumabooth, we're going to give you 20 free credits to test out the AI portraits, but we do have our credit system available, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I just want to quickly go over the AI portraits. What we have here is when you're creating it, we have some preset styles, so you can select the style that you want to go with. And again, these are presets. So say you are doing a steampunk event, you can add the steampunk style. And then we have these art styles that say if you wanted to use that steampunk theme, but maybe you wanted it a little more cartoon, you can add that overlay, that art style. And you can see on the right here, we give you an example of what the output could look like when a person uses it. So this would be a steampunk with the the modern 3D animation. Once I save this preset, this now becomes an AI portrait that is available for that event. If I want to add another one, I can add another one. So say we want to include a Wild West theme. And again, if you want just the Wild West, you could do just the Wild West. If you want to add the art style, you can add the art style on top of it. So this one I'm just going to leave just as the Wild West. And talking again about the art styles, if you want just the art style added, what this would do is put that style, use that style to the original picture that is used in the booth. So say you apply the Barbie tone, say you have a setting in your booth that you like the background and things like that, you can just add the art styles and it will still use your background, things like that. It's just doing this kind of color change type of textures and things like that. So once again, those art styles are now available in this event that I created. So I'll go back to the iPad and I'll launch that event again, and we see now when I do the photo, it presents me with the styles, and I would just select this and create the portrait from there. I guess we can do one just for fun, although let's see how this goes. Oh. I didn't quite mean to do a 3-template portrait for the AI, but we can do that. Typically when I do the AI portraits, I do a single pose portrait. But if you do the multi-pose, you will get that you will get multiple AI designs. And you see it generates pretty quickly. I think the average time is about 10 seconds. Internet is required for the AI portraits. And again, this is my steampunk with the 3D animation and me talking during the pictures. So we see that process, and those will get put into my template, and we have our sharing options available. So going back to the dashboard, we see that we talked about the credits. We see here in the AI portraits area that I have the ability to manage my credits. Basically, we have a few plans available. We have our subscription plans. These are basically pick your plan and these credits will reset at the end of the month. If you want a pay-as-you-go plan, we do now offer that as well. So this would be, if you don't want to have the credits reset, you just want to pay for what you use, you have those options too. So these are fully able to be saved and refilled as needed. All right. So, as we go back to the dashboard, we can see that we have full control of our account. We have our subscription plans. We still have our voucher options, our refer and earn program, and redeeming vouchers. These are things that were all in the original photo share. We also see that we have our request a feature plan option here. This is many of you have been requesting features, and as you have seen, these are taking effect. This is the best way to reach out. We also have the ability, if you use the chat widget, you can suggest the feature, and you can actually see some of the features that have been suggested, and you can upvote them to see what you want to see. If you don't see your feature request, you can create the new request there as well. So that is what the dashboard does for us. It allows us to create this event and have it available, as I mentioned, in Lumabooth for Windows and iOS. I will just show you really quick here, just because I have the one. This is the Lumabooth for Windows. And if we look through here, we see our events. And these events are available for the, you can see that I have my iPad event is here. This is the same event that would have been created for the iPad device. Let's see if looks like the Facebook event didn't come up. Let me restart that. So we'll see that we can create events both in the Windows software and the iOS software, and it's available now in both versions. This is a new ability, and we're really excited to have it available. So when I open it up, we see here's my Facebook Live event that was created for my iPad. If in this case, if I needed to change devices, I could change devices and things like that. But here it is available in my Windows software. One thing just to kind of go back and talk about the dashboard, if you realize that you made an event and you picked the wrong experience, you have the ability to change the experience. You can change the type here. You can still turn on all the options that we turned off in the presets. So you still have the full control. So I'm going to, if anyone has any questions, I'm going to look here at the comments. I'll try to answer any questions. But that wraps up really just kind of showing what the dashboard does for us at the moment. This is our first release, and we are making some lots of changes to what is out there and what's available. And this will help us control the software and make your guys' life a lot easier in creating your events and managing your events. So with that said, if you have any questions, feel free to post the comment, and I will answer questions. I see that we are answering questions in the comments as they're asked. I do see someone had asked about the AI credits. Depends on what plan you have. If you have the monthly plan that renews automatically, those credits do reset. If you have the pay-as-you-go plan, those credits will stay with you until you use them. Is there a way to download the template to edit outside the dashboard? You can export the templates from the software, but I'm curious. I'd be curious to hear what exactly you want to edit outside of the dashboard. We would recommend simply just adding your additional graphics and things like that to the dashboard, but feel free to reach out and we can discuss that. But yes, you can export the, if you've created the template in the dashboard, you can go in the software and export it. Somebody asked how much Lumabooth subscription for Windows. It's the same price it has been, $199.99 US dollars per year. All right. Is there any other questions? If you have, like I mentioned, if you have feature requests and things like that, make sure you log into the dashboard, go to that chat widget, and do the feature request option to see what are out there, what requests have been made, and then you can also make your own requests. But definitely upvote any request that you feel is important to you and will help you out. Those upvotes will help us decide what to bring next. And of course, as always, if you have any questions or problems, make sure you reach out to us at customer support. I see some more questions coming in here. What's the maximum number of people that can be included in a single AI photo? So we recommend up to 4. It works great 1 to 4. You can do more, but you might get different results depending on how well the picture is and how the people are spaced. As far as subscriptions, as this is the first step for this process, this is a stepping stone. I believe the goal is to have a more unified subscription plan to make life easier. That's what this is. That's part of the step that this is making life easier and having everything in one place. If you haven't updated your DSLRBooth software, yes, you do need to download and install the current version from DSLRBooth.com/download. This is a major version number change, so we do not have the update option in the software. We want you to download that and install it so that you know that you're getting that change. Yes, Joe asked, will Lumabooth on Windows now replace DSLRBooth? Yes, Lumabooth for Windows is now the replacement for DSLRBooth. It's the same great program, but rebranded with the Lumabooth name and the new features that we are offering. I think the template sharing is one of our bigger questions we get at customer support. There is a feature request for a widget of some kind to offer the templates to be available for guests. Make sure you upvote that in the feature request. I see someone asking about if they didn't update. Your software will still continue to work if you're using the old software. Update when you're ready to update and check out the new features. For dashboard translation, definitely right now it is English, so I would definitely recommend adding that to the feature request, and so that the development team can focus on that as needed. Somebody is asking about PhotoShare and Lumabooth. So right now, even though the dashboard is live, we are at this moment still using PhotoShare for the gallery view and things like that. So if you are still using those features, I would definitely hold on to those, the PhotoShare subscriptions, as we make the changes. For the AI templates, again, for the sharing, do the feature request. For the feature request, we will look at comments as they're being reviewed. But if the feature request does not match exactly what you want, I would definitely suggest adding your own feature request. And I see just general questions about AI portraits and credits and things like that. If you want to reach out or check our support articles, keep in mind that we do have support articles at support.lumasoft.co. And of course, you can always reach out to us using the chat widget or emailing us at support@lumasoft.co. I think that's going to wrap it up, as a lot of these look like they're kind of still the same. Post-processing still work for Lumabooth for Windows. Yes, the same features that were available in DSLRBooth are still available in the Lumabooth for Windows software. So as I wrap it up, again, make sure you reach out to us if you have any questions at support. You can check out the new dashboard at dash.lumabooth.com, and we look forward to hearing what you think. And if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.